Bowlby's maternal deprivation theory. Bowlby proposed that disruptions in attachment bonds, even short-term disruptions, could result in serious and permanent damage to a child's emotional, social, and intellectual development. He called this the maternal deprivation hypothesis, MDH. There are two ways in which MDH can affect a child's development. Intellectual development involves mental retardation characterized by an abnormally low IQ. Bowlby argued that in emotional development, extreme cases of MDH could lead infants to become affectionless psychopaths, which is the inability to experience guilt or strong emotions for others. Bowlby stressed the importance of the critical period for a child's psychological development. If a child is separated from their mother within that time for an extended period of time, then psychological damage is inevitable. A criticism with Bowlby's MDH is that much of the evidence to support this theory relies on correlational data. Therefore, it is difficult to establish cause and effect conclusions between separation and emotional and behavioral difficulties, as other factors could have contributed to the findings, such as peer influences or dispositional characteristics, for example, personality. This in turn weakens the validity of the research and the support for MDH. Evidence to support the link between affectionless psychopathy and maternal deprivation hypothesis was carried out by Bowlby on 44 delinquent teenagers accused of stealing. He also interviewed the families of those who had been accused. The findings of the investigation revealed that all of the thieves displayed signs of affectionless psychopathy, i.e. lacking affection and guilt. 14 out of 44 of the thieves were described as affectionless psychopaths. Of these, 12 had experienced prolonged separation from their primary caregivers in the first 2 years of their lives. These findings support Bowlby's MDH and the importance of the critical period, and that disruptions within that time frame can cause affectionless psychopathy to occur. However, a limitation of Bowlby's theory is that he failed to distinguish between deprivation and privation. Rutter distinguished between deprivation and privation. He argued that severe long-term damage Bowlby associated with deprivation is actually more likely to be a result of privation. Many of the 44 thieves investigated by Bowlby had moved from home to home during their childhood, so may have never formed attachments in the first place. This weakens the validity of the findings from Bowlby's study, in turn the internal validity of MDH, as the causes of affectionless psychopathy may not be due to deprivation as Bowlby believes it to be.